That's my best version of pretending like I'm punching right now. What is going on, Laker fans? Excuse me there. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Tonight's going to be a little bit of a podcast version of the post game show. Can't do video tonight. Just not set up in a place for tonight. But obviously, I'm still going to do a recap. Still going to get into the game. It might end up being the highest viewed post game show I ever have because I didn't show my face. Which I'm sure everybody's out there fist pumping and saying, "Hey, we didn't have to look at Slee that entire post game show." Lakers over the Knicks, 113 to 105, the final score. Make it 2 wins in a row and beating two really, really good teams right now. Probably the two hottest teams in the NBA, the Boston Celtics, the New York Knicks. Certainly two teams that have Boston the best record in the NBA, and the Knicks coming into this game having won 9 games in a row. They'll snap that 9-game winning streak, and they'll do it on the road. Nice, really impressive 2 games for the Lake Show here, and they're going to have a chance coming up against the Charlotte Hornets on Monday to make it 3 wins in a row. I'm going to shut the hell up because I'll jinx it, because we know the Lakers refuse with everything they have, all their effort in their body. They refuse to win 3 games in a row. So we'll worry about the Charlotte Hornets a little bit later. Really nice win tonight. It is. And first off, I thought the Lakers should beat the New York Knicks because they are missing a ton of their players. Now, the Knicks still winning games even without them, but all the talent that the Lakers have, LeBron and Anthony Davis, we're going to be playing in this game. Go make it happen. Go win this game in New York. And there were some moments where before that fourth quarter started, I thought, all right, I think Knicks are probably going to win this game, even though they shouldn't. I mean, everything seemed like such a stretch for them. For Brunson to get a shot off and to get a good shot off, it was going to be tough. Lakers were basically double teaming him. There weren't any other real offensive threats for the New York Knicks. I mean, look at all the pieces that the New York Knicks are missing. I had Fred Katz come on the pregame show today, and he's talking to myself and Michael Thompson, and I'm talking to him about, hey, without OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, how are they able to win? He's like, don't forget, look, Mitchell Robinson is out. Quentin Grimes is out. On top of Julius Randle and OG Anunoby, all 4 of those guys being out as well. Dwayne Washington Jr. is out as well. I just don't know how big. I'm assuming he's not that big of a player for them. But I know those other 4 players are really nice players for them. Certainly Julius Randle and OG Anunoby. This is a game that you look at and you say, okay, Lake Show, go take care of business. Go handle business against the New York Knicks. A lot of their main players are out. I mean, Randall's giving you basically 24, 9, and 5 a game. He's out of the game. OG Anunoby is giving you 15, 5, and almost 2 steals a game. Emmanuel Quickly is giving you another 15 points as well. So, I'm sorry, not Emmanuel Quickly. I'm looking at when he was there. So you kind of add this all up together, you got a number of players that are actually big pieces to what the New York Knicks are doing and what they're hoping to do in the future. Go get a W in New York. I don't want to hear any more excuses. Come on, Lake Show. I mean, we got already enough excuses for the Lakers all season long. LeBron and Anthony Davis didn't have to play the game in the Celtics, and now, those guys got pretty decent amount of rest here getting ready for this game against the New York Knicks. Go make it happen. Going into the fourth quarter, I did think that, all right, maybe this is just going to be another one of those where we're fooling ourselves and we're trying to convince ourselves, we're just trying to convince ourselves of something that just doesn't exist. The Knicks at one point, I think it was in the third quarter, had gone up 8. I want to say Jalen Brunson hit a 3, top of the key, and they went up 8. But going into the fourth quarter, the Knicks were up 6. And I remember telling myself, I'm like, all right, well, let's see how the Lakers kind of start off this quarter. Do they go on some type of a run, or does New York take that 6-point lead, and next thing you know, it's 9 or 10, and the Madison Square Garden's rocking? Scored 9 unanswered points to start that fourth quarter. Completely dominated the fourth quarter. And they did on the defensive side. I actually want to spend a lot of time talking about the Lakers defense tonight, but 33-19, the Lakers outscored the Knicks in that fourth quarter. That's how they won the game. As simple as that. Lakers won this game because they played defense tonight. They basically played one defensive bad quarter, and that was in that second quarter. 34 points is what they gave up. But to give up 105 points total, 105 points total to the New York Knicks, that's fantastic defense. These two wins that the Lakers have under their belt here in these last two performances, it's only because they play defense. I genuinely don't have any other way of describing. When they played the Boston Celtics a couple nights ago, Lakers gave up 105 points. Tonight against the New York Knicks, they gave up 105 points. You guys have listened to me enough, and I've gone back before the Boston and New York game. They gave up 138 to Atlanta, 135 to Houston, 144 against the Warriors in double OT, 132 against the Chicago Bulls, and then that loss against the Clippers, 127. Lakers haven't played a lick of defense in these last couple of weeks until these last two games. And, to be honest with you, I was kind of clowning on the Lakers, saying, isn't this supposed to be your identity? This is what everybody keeps kind of sitting here and talking about. Yeah, it's supposed to be the Lakers on the defensive side, blah, blah, blah. Well, that wasn't happening. And the Lakers have just been so bad on the defensive side. That game on Thursday, Lakers came out, kind of set a little bit of a tone. Maybe the Boston Celtics just assumed all they had to do was just show up to work, and they were going to win that game by 15 or 20 points because LeBron James and Anthony Davis weren't there. But Lakers were relentless on the defensive side. It was great to watch. Tonight against the New York Knicks, especially in the fourth quarter, they were suffocating. Only gave up 19 points in the fourth quarter. And that's with the Knicks scoring a couple buckets towards the end. They were really around 14 points, something along those lines, if it wasn't for that final minute. Give the Lakers a ton of credit. And I think we all kind of understand Lakers basketball to an extent. As confusing as this team has been all season long, I do think there's some areas where we do understand it. We do get it. We do know what their strengths are. We do know what their weaknesses are. But their biggest strength, when they lock down on the defensive side and it feels like five dudes are playing with each other and not on islands, they got a good chance to win a game. I thought, and I'll go through some of the different players that came through on the defensive side, and I thought were effective for the Lakers on the defensive side. But that's your blueprint right there. If they get stops on D, they got a good chance of winning the game. If they walk into games and just feel like they don't really have to do much on the defensive side, then they're probably going to lose that game. Or if the other team is, sometimes it's okay if you feel like you got a good defensive possession, but a team just scores on you because it was better offense. All right, that's all right. That happens. But Lakers, I feel like there's stretches of 10, 15 minutes of teams just balling against them. That's obviously not good defense. All right. I want to tell you guys, I don't think you guys are going to believe me here, but I'm sipping on some tea. People are going to be like, Al, come on, bro. Come on, don't lie to us. Saturday, a week ago on Saturday, I was, I think, sipping on bourbon. Nobody's going to believe me, but sipping on tea, guys. I'm sipping on tea. Okay. A couple different places that I want to go to from here. So 113 to 105, the final score. The last two wins for the Lakers, they win two in a row. They're now a game over 500. We'll look at the standings in a little bit because surprisingly, Lakers actually not that far off from the 6th seed. A few more things. Well, there's a number of things that I want to do here, but I want a quick reminder here. Thank you to Underdog Fantasy, proud partner of the post-game show. So shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Thank you for being a part of the show. I will be submitting my picks here in a little bit for tomorrow's games. I'll be doing that. Speaking of defense, it's one of the coolest things to watch if you're a game of basketball, if you're a fan of basketball, and you really genuinely just appreciate the game of basketball. How somebody can dominate a game. I'm talking about dominate a game And offense has nothing to do with it. And let me remind you here, it's not that this person that I'm talking about can't dominate a game on offense. He can. We all know that. Absolutely. I'm talking about Anthony Davis. Can AD dominate a game on offense? Of course he can. We've all seen it. He's done it. There's times we actually get frustrated with Anthony Davis because we're wondering to ourselves, okay, well, why can't he do this more often on the offensive end? Tonight, Anthony Davis dominated the game, and it was on the defensive side. When I'm talking about dominate a game on the defensive side, I heard Doris Burke and Mike Breen, they were talking about it. By the way, good duo there. Now that Doc Rivers is doing his thing with the Milwaukee Bucks, they were going to kind of replace Doc Rivers. I think ESPN just decided, no, let's just roll with these two. They're fantastic together. And I didn't mind Doc Rivers when he was there as well. But I think those two are fantastic, and I'm sure they're probably not even going to end up replacing Doc because they know how good those two are together. So Anthony Davis's line for tonight: 4 of 12 from the field, just 12 points, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. If I'd have read you that line, hey guys, this is what Anthony Davis ended up doing tonight. He just had 12 points. He was 4 of 12 from the field and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. It'd be easy for you to say, well, that's not a good game. Where the hell was AD? Is AD not healthy? How come he didn't show up? I mean, what happened? And then I gave you the rest of the line. He had 18 rebounds. He had 5 assists. He had 4 block shots, and he had 1 steal. And how many plays they were talking about on the broadcast where Jalen Brunson would get past the initial defender, and then all of a sudden he's like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do here? I'm supposed to try to shoot over Anthony Davis. It's a bad shot. So we'd kick it out, and some other dude would take a shot, and Lakers were, okay, that sounds good. Anybody but Jalen Brunson. Anthony Davis dominated a game where offensively he really wasn't a factor offensively. Dominated a game because of what he was doing. How great was that highlight of Jalen Brunson? I'm sorry, not Jalen Brunson. I think it was Josh Hart first getting to the basket and getting blocked, and then the ball kind of gets poked out, and it's Jalen Brunson then going to the basket, and it's Anthony Davis blocking him on another shot. So in one possession, he gets 2 block shots, and that I thought was a critical stage of the game, kind of set the tone, and the Lakers would do what they do. But Anthony Davis was just fantastic, unbelievable on the defensive side. I'm watching some of the highlights right now on Spectrum, and every time I see a highlight where it's Anthony Davis and it's offensively, it's like, yeah, that doesn't even matter. It's what he was doing on the defensive side, is how much he dominated on the defensive end, and he should have. You know, I'm going to go back and say this. We could be excited about tonight's win. We could look at this game against the Knicks. We could look at 2 games in a row and say that's a nice couple of days. And already for the Lakers road trip, they've already won 3 games. Now, they're random games. It's Golden State, it's Boston, and New York. It's those 3 games that the Lakers have won, and they got a chance, to go 4-2 now by the time this road trip's all said and done. Who would have thought that? But I'm not even referring to that. What I'm talking about more than anything else is they played defense. They put themselves in a position, I thought, towards the end of that game, and especially tonight with Anthony Davis kind of leading the charge. They did something that I think is so important. You kind of start building a little bit of momentum, but you should have beat the New York Knicks. New York Knicks are missing a lot of guys, and enjoy the win, enjoy the W. But at the end of the day, I think the Lakers should have. This was supposed to happen. The Lakers were supposed to beat the New York Knicks tonight, based off of some of those injuries. That doesn't mean the Lakers would have beat them. We've seen plenty of games where we thought the Lakers should win a game and they end up losing. So end up getting blown out. That happens all the time. We all know that. Sipping some tea. I gotta sip it, bro. It's hot. You guys want me to do? Okay, a couple other things I want to get into. You know the highest plus minus tonight? Highest plus minus tonight. I'm going to give you guys a second to guess. What do you think? AD? Maybe Braun? Maybe Reeves. Reeves had a really good night tonight. Max Christie, highest plus minus tonight. Speaking of guys that were effective on the defensive side, no crazy stats here. 6 points, took a couple of shots, hit both of them, hit both of his threes that he ended up taking. Doesn't need the ball, just kind of finds a way to be effective for the Lakers. I thought it was a nice night for Max Christie. I like that Spectrum after the game interviewed him. I like that he got a little bit of pub, a little bit of love. And I think those are for times where, you're watching a Lakers game and it's easy to just pay attention to the stars. I thought Max Christie, who played the entire fourth quarter for the Lakers, was fantastic defensively. And hopefully for his own confidence and the Lakers' kind of short-term future and long-term future, Max Christie gets more opportunities and makes the best of it. So that's the hope in that. Highest plus minus, Max Christie, plus 12. Ron was plus 11. I think AD was plus 6. Reeves was plus 8. So there was a few of these guys that were making it happen tonight. But Max Christie, like I mentioned, had the highest plus minus. Okay, Austin Reeves, a couple really good games in a row here. See a lot of people going after Austin Reeves in the chats that he's been underperforming, which I think he has. I think he's been, inconsistent. The game against the Boston Celtics, he was balling over everybody. He was making – it didn't matter who. Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum. He was dominating everybody. Without LeBron and Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves was special in that night on Thursday against the Boston Celtics. Tonight, House 22 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 2 block shots in his first game at the Madison Square Garden. Damn impressive. 6 of 13 from the field, played 39 minutes. Only Braun played more than him. Look at Braun getting another 40 minutes in. 6 of 13 from the field. 50% from the 3-point line was Austin Reeves. Reeves was nice tonight. Reeves kind of had that look, that relentless look. He was fantastic. I'm watching the highlights right now. It was Josh Hart going up, block Anthony Davis's left hand. Ball pokes out, ends up in Jalen Brunson's hand. Out of nowhere, Anthony Davis blocks it with his right hand, uses both hands to get those blocks. It was a critical stage of the game. Lakers were only up or were down 3, and it looked like New York was going to go on some type of run, but Lakers obviously hang in there. Okay, what the hell was I talking about? I was talking about Austin Reeves. So 2 good games for Austin Reeves. LeBron had 24, 5 and 5, plus 2 steals, 10 of 19 from the field. Very calculated. Hit a couple fadeaway shots that were clutch, that looked good. And certainly LeBron did what he usually does. Start of the fourth quarter, I'm watching that right now. Taurean Prince, big-time 3, brings the Lakers to within 1. This is the beginning of the fourth quarter where I said was really, it's just kind of the determining factor in the game. Bron had that tough fadeaway. That's another bucket right there. So from down 6 to Lakers up 1, Austin Reeves would have a shot going up, and that fourth quarter, Lakers set the tone to kind of start things off and started cooking from there. Okay, who am I missing out here? Taurean Prince. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to add this, and I'm going to do it right now because this is an important topic here. Okay? I know a lot of Laker fans were looking for this for a while. New starting lineup. What'd you guys think? So, Taurean Prince, which a lot of Laker fans at least have communicated with me, they would prefer Taurean comes off the bench. Tonight, Taurean Prince came off the bench, but still played a lot of minutes. I mean, he still played 33 minutes. Rui played 19 minutes, so the Lakers certainly went to Taurean Prince, wanted Taurean Prince in the game, and to be honest with you, TP hit a lot of big shots. Taurean Prince, 3 of 6 from 3, 6 of 10 from the field, 16 points, a couple of rebounds, a couple of assists, and a block shot. So for those that wanted to see Taurean Prince come out of the starting lineup, he came out of the starting lineup, but I thought he was really, really nice tonight. Efficient, effective, good on the defensive side. took advantage of opportunities when he could, and balled out for the Lakers. So AD impacted the game on the defensive side. LeBron, just a good overall game. Austin Reeves might have been the best player on the floor tonight. D'Lo, shot didn't fall, ended up playing 27 minutes, was not in there during some of that crunch time, but he didn't look like he cared, and the Lakers are trying to get W, so it's all good. Still ended up with 16 points and 4 assists. Taurean Prince, good shooting, and Max Christie, like I mentioned, I thought had some nice impact there, specifically in that fourth quarter. New starting lineup. Will that be the new starting lineup moving forward? I have no idea, actually. I have no idea. I think it's a fair question. It's a good question, but a coach was asked about it after the game, and I think he's just trying to find some consistency. I was surprised that he tried it. I was surprised that I don't mind trying this, especially let's see how Taurean Prince does coming off the bench. The thing is that I would just say I would still like to see Rui get more minutes, 19 minutes to Taurean Prince's 33, but he clearly trusts Taurean Prince much more than a lot of these other players. I mean, 33 minutes for Taurean Prince, that's more than D'Lo, Max Christie, Rui Hachimura. So he really, really, really does trust Taurean Prince. So if you guys got some thoughts on that new starting lineup, feel free to let me know. And if you don't like it, don't yell at me. I'm just the messenger, man. That's all I am, just the messenger. Okay, the code for Underdog Fantasy is Hoops LA. All right, so this is where I will share my screen here with my great people. Kawhi Leonard, higher or lower than 27.5 points against Miami? I'm going to go lower. Jimmy Butler, higher or lower than this hairdo still throws me off with Jimmy Butler. Higher or lower against the Clippers tomorrow? I'm going to go higher for Jimmy Butler. I'll put $20 in. Basically, for Underdog Fantasy, this is how it works. If you've never signed up for them and you're into daily fantasy sports, support one of our partners and try Underdog Fantasy. I think you'll like the experience. On top of that, they're going to match your first deposit of up to $100. Just use my code HoopsLA. I always, for those who don't know, I play pick'ems right here. I play pregame as in games that are coming up tomorrow, and I go NBA. But you want to go NFL? If there's some other sports, obviously we're not too far away from baseball. You could do that as well. Those are my two picks. I got them in: Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler. Kawhi lower, Jimmy Butler higher. If I win, I make 3 times my money. Pretty easy. So thank you for being a part of the show, and thank you to Underdog Fantasy for being a proud partner. Okay, some bad news on the Jared Vanderbilt front. I don't know if you guys saw this, but not good news. So we know Jared Vanderbilt left the game against the Boston Celtics, didn't really play all that much. So I'm looking at this. I saw the article come out yesterday. Woj put it out. Dave McMenamin put it out. And I'm looking at the article, and I saw the tweet when it came out as well. I'm going to read a little bit of this because let's read it together. You know what, guys? Let's read together. Can I share my screen for that? Can I do that? Is that possible? Here we go. Let's read it together. Lakers forward Jared Vanderbilt expected to miss a minimum of several weeks with a right foot injury. So minimum of several weeks. It could be out even longer pending further evaluation. This is the quote that scares me. Vanderbilt will undergo more extensive consultation in the coming days on the midfoot area to determine the full extent of his injury and whether a season-ending procedure could become necessary, sources said. Man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. A player that's playing, just starting to look like he's healthy. Just starting to look like he's got the ability to look like himself again. I mean, look at this. Look at these stats. In the Lakers' past 8 games, Vanderbilt's averaging 10.5 points, 66% shooting, 5.5 rebounds, and 2.3 steals. Here's a quote here. Jackson Hayes called Vanderbilt the heart and soul of the team. Man, that could be a really, really bad blow for the Lakers if Vando is out for extended period of time. Again, the quote that hit me was they're still trying to determine whether it's going to be a season-ending procedure. Um, that could that could that could be necessary, I guess, is the way that they put it. Right foot injury. At least he's going to miss several weeks. Yeah, I hate to see Vando go down, especially I really do feel like he was starting to look more like himself, starting to look confident out there. Actually started looking a little bit more like a threat again on the offensive end. So to see that happen and to see the Lakers in that position, in that spot, that's a really, really crappy position to be in. And unfortunate. So Vando could be out for a while. That's very frustrating there. So keep that one in mind. Gabe Vincent already out. Cam Reddish obviously hasn't played here for a few games. So we're going to have to wait and see how long Jared Vanderbilt's out for. All right. Final score 113-105, Lakers over the Knicks. Here's a big question now, Laker fans. Lakers' next game is Monday at Charlotte, and the Hornets are 10-37 on the season. So clearly not that good of a team. Oh, but I've seen the Lakers lose to teams like the Charlotte Hornets. But let me just give you a little bit closer of the Charlotte Hornets here, okay? They have lost 7 games in a row. Detroit, Houston, Utah, New York, Chicago, and their last loss at the Oklahoma City Thunder. They do have a game coming up tomorrow at home, which I guess maybe one of the good things could be that they'll be on a second of a back-to-back, and the Lakers will be not fresh, but it'll be the final game of the road trip. And if I sat here today and told you, well, the Lakers, they should clearly beat the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets are not a good team. I've seen the Lakers do this so many times this year, especially after winning a couple games in a row. Burger King relax there. Jesus. Freaking loudest ad I've ever heard in my life. Every time the Lakers have been put in this position, it's like, oh, okay, they should win and they should be fine, blah, blah, blah. This is what we do for the Lakers. They end up losing that game. It's the last game of a road trip. You know the Lakers. This is just who the Lakers are. You know they're going to play with their food a little bit against the Charlotte Hornets. So it certainly is not a guarantee. It's not a lock. And it would be incredibly, incredibly, incredibly disappointing if they can't handle business against the Hornets. However, let's be a little optimistic here. If we're being optimistic, and they do handle business, and they do take care of the Charlotte Hornets, they'll have gone 4-2 on this road trip. Where 2 games ago, we thought the world was about to end, and the Lakers were just in this, incredibly, incredibly awful position. January, they ended up actually losing ground. And then they start they start February. It's like, okay, what's it going to look like? And then here they are randomly 2-0 in February, beating Boston, only had 2 losses at the TD Garden, and best record in the NBA, and then beating the New York Knicks, who had won 9 games in a row. So here's this opportunity against the Charlotte Hornets to not just win a game, but to go 4-2 on this road trip. And then you'll get a little bit of home cooking. You'll have 4 games left before the All-Star break. It would be phenomenal if they can make that happen. Now, I did mention I wanted to talk a little bit about the standings. Look where we are now in the standings. Lakers 26-25 in the number 9 spot. A game behind the Dallas Mavericks for number 8. And 3 games behind Phoenix and New Orleans for those 6 and 7 spots. I'm not telling you that, the world's about to change here. What I'm telling you is they're actually not that far off. Now, you could also look at it the other way and say, well, they're also a game and a half from being where the Houston Rockets are and sitting in 11, or 2.5 of where the Golden State Warriors are and sitting in 12. You'd be right about that. But I do feel like this is kind of the closest where you're starting to look. There's a little bit of a cushion between the Lakers, game and a half between 10 and 11, Utah and Houston. And now you could actually start looking forward a little bit and saying, okay, Dallas is within striking distance. New Orleans is within striking distance. Phoenix is within striking distance. But they're going to have to win some of these games. And obviously, it's going to have to be one of those situations where they win 7 of 8. It's going to take something like that, or 8 of 10, for them to really start making up some ground. But nonetheless, it's 2 really good wins. They get them on the defensive side. And the good news is the Lakers now at least have they're in a position to put themselves in a spot where they could get another one coming up on Monday and come back to a crypto 4-2 on this road trip. All right, Laker fans, that's all I got for tonight. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Little podcast form here, no video. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday night. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I'm not certain tomorrow I'm going to have that weekly podcast that I started doing. We'll see. It's going to depend on a couple of guests that I've reached out to and I'm still kind of waiting on. So it's going to depend on that. So keep that one in mind. If I don't get with you guys this weekend, we'll be back Monday after the Lakers and the Hornets. Either way, enjoy this win against the Knicks. Thank you all for hanging out. And I'll get back with you guys on Monday night, and we'll talk some more Lakers basketball, and hopefully the Lakers make it a nice road trip of going 4-2. Thanks, Laker fans. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night.